You've probably seen him on TV, right? Oz Pearlman, the mentalist who does things that just seem, well, impossible. Is it some kind of magic? Or is it a skill that maybe we could all learn? Well, today, we're going to break down his playbook and uncover the secrets that you can actually use in your own life.
I mean, that's the big question, isn't it? It looks like he's just pulling thoughts right out of people's heads. So, for real, can he actually read your mind?
And there it is, straight from the man himself. See, Pearlman is crystal clear about this. It is not a supernatural gift. What it is a skill he spent decades perfecting, the art of reading people. This isn't magic, folks. It's a set of learnable habits. So let's dive right in, starting where every single interaction begins, that very first impression. And it all starts with tackling the one thing that holds pretty much all of us back. Think of this like a giant wall standing between you and whatever you want to achieve. Pearlman says that most people don't even try because they're absolutely terrified of hearing the word no. But what if I told you there's a way to design your approach so that no just isn't even an option?
And the fix for this is so simple, it's almost funny. It literally taps into our lizard brain. When you walk straight up to someone making direct two-eyed contact, it can trigger this primal predator-prey response. But by just turning your body slightly, showing more of your side and only one eye, you signal less danger. And just like that, people are instantly more open to you.
And this is where his 10-second formula comes in, and it's absolutely brilliant because it shuts down every chance for a no. You start with a positive, open-ended question. Then you create a curiosity gap. You make them need to know what's next. You establish your value, frame it as a special treat so there's no pressure, and you promise something amazing is about to happen. In just 10 seconds, you've completely bypassed their defenses.
Okay, so you've gotten their attention. You've opened the door. Now what? How do you turn that little spark of interest into a real, genuine connection? Well, that's where the real power lies.
This right here is Pearlman's golden rule. It's so simple, but so many of us get it wrong. We walk into a room thinking, okay, how can I impress everyone? How can I look good? He just completely flips that. The fastest way to earn someone's trust and build rapport is to make them the star of the show.
And this is where it gets interesting, because there's this paradox when it comes to making a connection. The smallest things always have the biggest impact. You know, most people are so caught up in their own heads, they forget simple details. A name, a story about their kid. So when you're the one who remembers, it's not just impressive, it's like a superpower.
So how do you actually do this? Well, Pearlman has this hilarious trick. He basically repurposed the instructions on a shampoo bottle. Listen, repeat, reply. First, you have to actually listen. Quiet that voice in your head that's already thinking about what you're going to say next. Second, repeat their name back to them right away to confirm it. Finally, reply by connecting it to something. Oh, Steven with a V. I like that. That simple little process locks it into your memory. And this is why that little detail you remembered is so dang powerful. Pearlman calls it a coupon with no expiration date. Think about it. If you bring up a detail from our conversation the next day, that's nice. But if you bring it up 2 years later, whoa, that's the kind of thing that builds relationships for life.
All right, so we've been talking all about reading other people. But maybe the most important mind you'll ever have to read is your own. Now, we're going to turn the lens inward and see how Pearlman hacks his own brain for peak performance.
Oh man, we all know this feeling, right? That one thing on your to-do list, the one you keep pushing off, and the dread just builds and builds. Procrastination is fueled by that feeling, but there's a really simple mental trick you can use to break the cycle. Here's the mental trick. Fast forward your feelings. Right now, before you start, the dread is probably a 9 out of 10, right? But think about it. During the task, the discomfort is maybe a 6, and 24 hours from now, it's a 1. It's gone. Poof! Just reminding your brain of that simple fact can shrink that fear down to nothing and help you just get it done. And what about rejection? This is huge. To deal with it, Pearlman created 2 different versions of himself. There's the real Oz, and then there's Oz the entertainer. When someone says no, who are they saying no to? The entertainer, not the real you. The real you stays completely protected, totally immune from the sting, and ready to get back out there. So, we've got the techniques for reading the room, the mindset hacks, the connection tools, but honestly, none of it means anything without this last crucial piece of the puzzle. And Pearlman does not pull any punches here. His final point is a powerful, direct challenge to all of us. Basically, he's saying that feeling good and getting all inspired is worthless if you don't actually do anything with it. The only thing that creates real change is action.
And he gives us a dead simple framework to make it happen. First, you got to define a real, measurable goal. Not get in shape, but I'm going to run a 10K. Second, you create accountability by telling 10 people about it. That fear of embarrassment is a huge motivator. And third, the most important step of all, you start tomorrow. Not Monday, not next month, tomorrow.
So that's the real secret, isn't it? The magic isn't in some psychic ability. It's in reading people, hacking your own psychology, and most importantly, taking decisive action. All of which brings us to the final, most important question. What's the one goal you're going to take action on tomorrow?